Welcome guys to Group B of the round of 32. We have Jaedong versus Bisu. Should be a very exciting matchup. So first up, here's Bisu, our protostar. You can see extremely nice stats, 70% overall, especially his PVZ, 14.6 and about 12th overall. Keep in mind Bisu is the one who won a cup of the MSL 2 seasons back, and he made the finals of the last one as well before he got beaten by Mind. On the other hand, we do have Jaedong coming up on the other side. So the young Zerg, so Jaedong's stats, they seem a little more human, so to speak, and 59th overall, but he recently just won the Ever OSL. So basically he's coming on this from a high, basically. He's in a great position to beat Bisu as well, so we'll see. He ended up beating Stork there 3-1 in the reverse. So let's get things started. So the map itself is Blue Storm. And we'll see what Bisu is able to do against Jaedong's ZVP. So Jaedong, top right, as the purple Zerg. And Bisu as the red Protoss in the bottom left. So it'll be interesting to see what both players open up with on this map here. As mentioned, Jaedong just won the last OSL, just finished into recently during this time, just a couple of weeks ago. On the other hand, Bisu was topped by Stork in the semis, where he lost 3-0. But obviously both players are still in pretty good shape overall. We'll see if Bisu is going to go for something like hit the Forge FE that he was doing, or if he's going to adjust with like a gateway, depending on what he plans to do. Likewise, we'll see if there's going to be an overpull coming in, or if Jaedong will feel good enough, like comfortable enough against Bisu to open up with the 12 hatch. Now, considering that Bisu is a PVZ king, we'll see what either player decides to do. So nothing just yet. Still doing the scout as well. So we see the true drone, so it looks like it's going to be a 12 hatch from Jaedong. And it looks like Bisu, I still don't see a probe being sent out, so it might be a Nexus first potentially. He might feel comfortable enough with it because he can block the little choke right near his expansion to do the Nexus first. But we'll hopefully see confirmation very shortly. So Jaedong's taken the mineral only as his base, and I still don't see any gateways or any forges. So we'll see, it could also be potentially delayed as well. Yeah, so it looks like it's a Nexus first basically. So Jaedong still hasn't scouted this yet, and he just put the pull down as well, so he is in no way able to do any kind of aggression against this. What he's more likely going to do is just grab his expansion if he hasn't already, especially once the Overlord sees this, and then just drone up behind it and try and deduct any mining. So the force coming in, a gateway soon as well. And that's some pretty good probe micro as well. Can he deny it? No, he's not in a position to do so. Gas coming in, so nothing out of the ordinary for these two players. So it's more than likely we'll see two Zerglings pop up from Jaedong just to kill that probe and deny some of the scan that's being done. That's a 9 cannon placement. It will help cover the minerals, which is great, and help cover up to where the gateway is as well. So good coverage overall. So I would like to see if Bisu will be getting his core very soon as well, because his gateway should be done momentarily. And we do see the layer coming in, so at least he knows that there's no harder shenanigans just yet. The core is on the way as well, probably followed up by the Stargaters to help do extra scouting if needed. And there's our handsome toss. So first there's out. This is gonna force Jaedong to respond in kind. We do see just, again, another gas coming in. The probe is down, there is enough Zerglings here to stop the Zealot, of course. I'm pretty sure Bisu is aware of this, and he might be pulling it back. So just throwing up on both sides. We'll see if Jaedong will end up placing another cannon for extra safety, especially with the 6 Zergling count, because it's always possible that Jaedong might have gotten speed right after the layer, more than likely, and probably could always go for a bust, because again, Bisu doesn't really know what's going on. So we'll see what kind of plan Jaedong has in mind for us. So the robe is up. Reaver tech is more than likely at this point. Maybe something along the lines of, so the Spire's up as well, okay? So maybe something along the lines of the Corsair Reaver, potentially, but we'll need to see if he adds another Robo and the Reaver tech and to go from there. Definitely see some, the range more than likely for the Dragoon spinning. Or that could also be the Corsair attack weapon as well. We'll see where it is once it's done. The Bisu does scout the Spire, so I think that gives him better details of what's going on. Oh, and we do see a couple other hatches as well. So, and the chambers are +1 more than likely. So we'll see if this is going to be something like a, for one, I believe, yeah, 3-hatch Spire into 5-hatch Hydra. So the Corsair's aiming should be able to see everything and figure out what's going on. We see the second gas being taken by Jaedong because he needs some of the gas as well, especially for his units. And he should be able to see the Evo as well. This gives him complete vision of what's going on. He now knows, or should know, what he's playing up against. So Reaver Tech is out. He's got his second Stargate as well. Okay, that's fantastic. So it looks like it's more than likely going to be Corsair Reaver. So he should probably be getting he should probably be searching Deep Web in time if that's the case, especially if it goes into the later game. But this can be a very decent strategy versus Hydras as well, with what he's going for. So what it's going to come down is going to come down to execution quite a bit, especially on Bisu's side, because the Reavers, especially with target, they can do a lot of damage, and once the Corsair numbers go up really high, then they become extremely hard to kill. It's part of the reason why in the last ever OSL, where Jaedong ended up beating Bisu, ended up beating Stork on Katrina, there was the E-hand timing where he just hit right before the Corsair numbers started ramping up. So these are some bad losses for Bisu. He needs a nice pickup for Jaedong. So first Reaver should be out. We do see quite a bit of Corsairs. I'm seeing what, about 5? I'm seeing about 4 or 5 of them. So it looks like what Bisu would like to do is just grab his third down there and defend it with Corsairs, and this would be a very strong position, strong position as well. It'd be very extremely hard to break, and it's so close to his main that he can easily ferry units over if he needs to. The question is if Jaedong is going to try and deny this, because if he can potentially hit before things are set up, and it's only a single Reaver. So it looks, oh, there's another Reaver actually. It's going to depend so much on Bisu's control. He does not want to lose that shuttle, obviously. So the defense has been great so far, losing a single zealot for all those units, and there should be enough time bot to actually get things up. And he's gonna get a couple more overlords as well. So he's about to have enough time just to get things up. We do see the second Evo chamber going up as well, so just the more +1s as well for the armor as well as the attack. And it does look like the Sears have the +1 as well, so it's more than likely that might have been what the core was spinning for earlier on. But the base is now established as well, so this should be extremely hard to break, especially because of the choke. The Reaver shots are pretty good overall as well. Could have been slightly better, but this was fantastic overall. So Bisu can easily secure this base, and he managed to kill a couple of drones with that drop, and he's basically... So this is extremely great what Jaedong is doing. Without an observer, Barrow works extremely well versus this kind of strategy. But Bisu is still doing a lot of damage nonetheless, basically. That's a lot of damage still. The amount of lost mining, the drone kills, the Barrow. But he's losing also all of his Corsairs. That was extremely bad. Now this base should be pretty vulnerable, so he should be able to get a couple more. But we do see again the Barrow. So this Reaver has done a great job so far between denying the mining and getting the drone kills. Although losing those 3-4 Corsairs to those highs was obviously a bad idea. And we see Bisu also is saturating his third. So I personally like Bisu's position at this point, because once that base kicks in, he's gonna start getting up probably getting up a big army, probably potentially more units like gateways and such, and then he probably will push out. But for the most part, he'll probably just keep harassing for now, and obviously get things like High Templars and such. Though he's gonna looks like he's gonna lose that Corsair. No, he doesn't. Oh, is that gonna dud? It's gonna dud. So he just managed to get one, so that was extremely lucky there. So one thing about Ser Reaver is that you constantly have to keep tabs on the army, because your Reaver is essentially keeping the Zerg back because they're just defending all the time. So if you don't control it well enough and you end up losing the shuttle or lose the Reaver to Hydras or whatever, then essentially you put on the back foot. So it's an extremely strong strategy, especially once D-Web kicks in and you have more and more Reavers instead of just the one. But you need to have really good control and execution, and Bisu back in these days, he used to have some of the best multitasking and control there was for a Protoss player. Now we do see speed is done for the Overlords as well, so they're all being bunched up. And we see Dark Templars coming in, so the Dark Templars will drop potentially into the main. There would be a great time kind of push or a Reaver drop, you know, the third or fourth, and then do a drop into the main basically. Because what's going to happen is that Jaedong would never suspect it unless he takes a look at his main, so they could potentially score a lot of drone kills. So a single one, just walk in, there's no Overlords that I saw from previously, so this could do a lot of damage. Just need to have much better control. So that's 3 of them. You see, this DT is going to town basically. That's 5 drone kills. Jaedong does pull the drones, and looks like he may be going for another Reaver drop as well. So just like endless harass on Bisu's side while he basically gets his economy up and gets his army bigger and bigger for a big final push. So he's been doing fantastic so far. Jaedong isn't defending too badly, but it's extremely hard to put up with this kind of harass as well. Oh, and he just saves the shuttle as well. That shuttle should be safe. And looks like he's also taking his 4th behind, so Bisu is in a dominating position right now. So 5 gates are up, Storm should be coming in, ZSP should be here shortly as well, because the archive has... ZSP should be here shortly. Upgrade-wise, it's probably at least +1, potentially +2 soon enough for Bisu as well. But we do see quite a bit of lurkers. He does have robots who can get observers, but I don't believe I've seen a single one just yet. And you can see what Jaedong is doing, basically the Spore with a single sunken just for detection purposes. Okay, so I still see an observer there, so he has some ready. But this push is extremely big, basically. It wasn't too bad of a storm. It would have been nice if he got a lot more, but Jaedong's reaction was unreal there, pulling his units extremely fast. But he does lose the shuttle. But as you can see, this is a huge army, so we'll see if Bisu has anything to actually stop this, basically. So he does have a couple of Reavers, and there is a couple of cannons, not too bad, and a couple of Storms. A High Templar there. So this base is safe for now, but he's going to be able to range those Zealots from the high ground. So what Bisu was trying to do is get a bit of damage on the Lurker there before shooting with his Scarab. He doesn't have any shuttles, so this is an important position for him, but Jaedong does make the right move to pull back. He's going to need a bigger army to engage this, basically. Maybe a drop on top of the units, basically, or it does look like maybe this was a feint as well. Looks like he's actually interested in Bisu's third expansion, and looks like he misses the drop, but we do see the shuttle is going to get intercepted. Oh, just missed, but there is something on his trail. Can the Hytrons come to... Okay, that's a lot of damage. So that's a lot of damage. So loading up for everything. Bisu doesn't know this is coming just yet, so he's going to be dropping right on top. And the drone count is pretty sparse for Jaedong right now. 15 minutes into the game, and his force doesn't have much drones on it. And that's quite the sizable drop, but Bisu should have enough to actually defend this, from my perspective. The two Reavers coupled with the cannons. So it's going to come down to just... And there is a High Templar there as well. So the first Reaver is down. It's extremely big, but there is quite a bit of cannons there, and these things are going down extremely slowly. Plus, this does open up an opportunity for Bisu to push at the fourth. So he should be able. So he's going to survive this drop, and he's going to be able to push up his ramp and get rid of some of those lurkers. So it's a win-win for Bisu right now. Although there is quite a bit of hiders, but there is enough support there. So it looks like. So it looks like Jaedong believes he can break this, but there is just enough units here to stop this. And there is a Reaver there as well, so the expansion being close by allows him to get the Reaver up to the Asa plus the Storm and the cannons. It's extremely hard to break this position. So it looks like we're 2-1 now. Fantastic for Bisu. I would love to see what Jaedong's upgrades are. He does have the 3 Evos pumping away, so he must be close to 2-2 at this point, if not already there as well. So upgrades should be extremely close. Yeah, we do see 2-2 as well. Oh, and another storm with the 5 kills there. That's great, and those drones are not coming back just yet until it dies. And it looks like Bisu's even planning to take the 5th base, but obviously that's going to be denied. So it's a rough position for Jaedong to be in, because Bisu is essentially getting up his army. He has speed, his upgrades are pretty decent so far. He's managed to get 4 bases and hold them, and he's done a lot of economic damage, so Jaedong has to make something big happen. Plus he needs another base ASAP. The question is, with Blue Storm, sometimes the map will get split in half, so we'll see what Jaedong plans to do, but it looks like this is a Zealot Reaver drop, or Zealot High Templar drop. We'll see what he has in mind, basically. Yeah, it's a High Templar drop. He's basically looking for drone kills, and he gets quite a bit as well. And he's even going to save the shuttle as well. Oh no, he's going to save it. Looks like he will save the shuttle as well. It's going to be extremely close. Oh, the shuttle dodging is crazy. So it's unfortunate, but at least he did manage to kill someone, and he even gets the expansion. This puts Bisu even further ahead, basically, because he just got rid of, he killed a lot of drones, he got an expansion down. That's 3 base mining, he's almost mined out. We do see the fires, this could change the outcome with a bit of plagues and swarm. And especially the fact that Jaedong still has Hydra Lurker, we can work really well against this heavy Zealot army, heavy Zealot composition. So it's pretty much endless harass at this point, and you just got another 5 drone kills. So the economy for Jaedong suffer, and he even stops the drone from taking that 5th base at 12 o'clock. So everything's going extremely bad for Jaedong at this point, and he even gets to see the Defilers if he didn't know about them, which he should. So we do see 2-2 for the Zerg as well, as mentioned. More than likely 3-3 is already being researched and on the way, so sooner than later that should be kicking in. And there's plenty of Dragoons here with Storm to break the front, but I do see a bit of the army coming back. Now, I mean, Bisu can definitely push us up the ramp, but he probably doesn't want to take a risk at this point because he knows he's much further ahead. Oh, but this is extremely crazy. You know, a big drop right into the main. This can actually turn the tide of the battle, because if the gateways go down, then that's going to allow Jaedong a lot of time to get his army up and his army. It doesn't look like Bisu actually notices this just yet, but he is coming back now. And he's going to lose at least one gateway, and if he... Does he even have an observer yet? He does have an observer. He does have enough units coming back as well. He can actually defend this at this point, and Jaedong's going to lose all his overlords as well. So on the one hand, 2 gateways and bringing the army back, that was great. But losing all the overlords, as well as the army, it's not really great in and of itself. And Bisu, of course, knows about Jaedong taking that 5th base, so he's more than likely going to be moving out to try and deny it again, because he doesn't want him to go to get into such a situation. There's quite a bit of Zerglings, which will do well against the Zerglings. There's quite a bit of cannons as well, being 6 of them. But where is the Defiler? Okay, so there is the Defiler. It's still on. Is it 2? It looks it's either 2 or 3. So it's more than likely the 3 is finished already at this point. So drone saturation is okay, but the 3rd bottom right base does need more. And as mentioned, Bisu is aware of that top base at 12 o'clock. He's moving in to deny it. It would be ideal if he sets a couple units in and then sets up a container outside so that he doesn't get boxed in. But it doesn't look like Jaedong is going to bother engaging at this point. He realizes his position. He just needs to trench down and build up his army again, see what he can do. Another drop would be great if he can manage it into the main, but Bisu is more likely aware of it at this point. And you can see, we do see another potential Zealot front boy, and we see the Lurker Murph. This is pretty nice cutesy moves. So I guess the idea that Observer's point is that there's more coursers coming in. That's a very nice plague. It's gonna soften up a lot of those Zealots for the Zerglings, and between those the Cracklings. So we'll see. It looks like there's another drop. Jaedong is getting ready for another drop. He must know that Bisu's main is mined at this point, but I wonder if he's planning to go for this 3rd base, basically. But this is extremely still well defended. So it looks like he's actually might be planning just to go into the main again, especially with Bush's army so out of position. But there is a couple cursors, so this is extremely bad for Jaedong. He's gonna have to quickly maneuver, and he's gonna lose at least 2 overlords without moving, getting rid of any unloading any units. So he will do some damage, but this is not the kind of damage he wanted. This was extremely bad for Jaedong. And Bisu's army is already back, especially with some of the units being spotted. The Lurker Egg is great; it will deny some units, but this was still very bad overall for Jaedong. So Bisu ready with the cursors there, and I believe that's what the observers were pointing. Basically, he will at least get the robo. So if the observers are denied, make things a little harder for Bisu, especially with the lurkers. And he looks like he's gonna be aiming for Bisu's fifth position, but Bisu is ready. Basically, he's trying to get set up. and that's a nice snipe on the High Templars. So Jaedong is doing a great job trying to do what he can with his units. That differ is extremely bad news though, and with no Reavers, the only thing that can hit is either Jazz or Storms. So we'll see. Oh, and that's a beautiful plague as well. But that won't be enough. He might do a lot of damage. But as soon as a couple of Zealots or a Storm comes in, then those Hydras are going to be toast. And that's a fantastic Storm, killing most of the Hydras. We just need another Zealot or two. And I believe there is a Zealot already under the Swarm. So there you go. The Hydras are essentially going to be dying any minute now. But it's kind of silly how many Dragoons are shooting at them. But there is a huge army that Jaedong is coming across the map with. And he could potentially bust this completely because there isn't really that much defense. The question is how many storms they have and what kind of storms we get, but it's still a really bad position here for Bisu with this break. So it doesn't look like Jaedong wants to push his luck with just how many cannons there are. At least some nice cursor snipes to make up for it, but he still doesn't have a 5th base right now, and that's the concerning thing about the whole thing. His main is mined out, his mineral oil is mined out, his 4th and expansion are going to mine out soon. While Bisu already has his 5th base set up and ready. But this is also a nice catch as well here. Just the more units you cast, the better. So Bisu is starting to be a little more sloppy with some of his unit control at this point in time. He'll be feeling the pressure. And as you can tell, he absolutely does not want Jaedong to get the 5th base up. But it looks like Jaedong is aware of this and he's actually moving in. But so Jaedong is Bisu is not going to kill this basically. The army, he's going to lose this army, but he's not going to be able to kill it, or it's going to be actually close. Oh, he actually managed to kill it. Okay, never mind. That was a fantastic move in his part as well. The longer he can deny it, the better. But he does get his mineral only denied as well with that single Lurker drop. So this game is actually extremely close now. That's a beautiful observer snipe. The 4 DTs though will certainly make a mark on this game. We'll see if Jaedong will actually notice them, especially with the Lurker blocking there, or... Oh, and the Mercury moves out of the way. So release the Dark Templar. Oh, but looks like that base is going to be break. Does he have any other units there? Does he have any? Okay, so I can see a storm there as well. I can see some Zers coming in, but the DTs are targeting the expansion. So this is going to be extremely close, and the Nexus is being targeted, but there is enough units to drive this back as well, especially between the DTs and the Zealots. But the Lurker is going to be doing quite a bit of job. The expansion is down, so we have one base mining for our reserve for Jaedong. On the other hand, Bisu still has maintained his base, although he did lose quite a bit of cannons and a bit of his army. And you can see Jaedong is almost mined out. If he does, this is probably one of his last pushes at this point, because if he doesn't get that base at the top, which is unlikely, he's gonna be in trouble. At least Bisu still has 2 more bases, but again, the mineral is almost mined out, so he's also on about essentially M1 base mining. But there is a lot of Hydras actually, and depending on how he engages this, he can actually potentially break that 4th base. So this is going to come down to Bisu's control. He doesn't actually have many units, so he actually might just break this and win this game. I mean, I'm not seeing any storm, I'm not seeing any reavers. He doesn't have anything. This might just be GG at this point. Wow, it's amazing how Jaedong just turned this game around, basically. That's a huge arm that he has. So it looks like Bisu's miscontrol in the later part of the game, and Jaedong just unending aggression and great control has basically cost him, because what does Bisu have to put up against this huge Hydra army? Zealots? With a couple of Tama? I mean, he can still storm them. And it's not like the game is over just yet, but Jaedong just established his 5th, which was huge, basically. So as long as he's able to defend this game is basically going to be his, because Bisu is almost mined out. And he's probably in no position to actually take the top base. So he might actually be going for his own big push now to try and see if he can re-establish that, or just do what he can. Oh, and I don't believe this is intentionalizing on Bisu's part. That's probably an accidental. So we can see Jaedong is still in 100. He's only has a couple of about 200 minerals. Bisu is trying to push the up the hill a bit, but there is a bit of a contain. And looks like Jaedong is going for the vessel snipes because that's what shed Bisu back a bit. And there is quite a bit of fighters coming in. He does need to do a better split as well. And I would love to see that swarm coming in because that helps so many times. But some really amazing storm on Bisu's side. He is down to about 81, and usually when you're lower than the Zerg in supply, that is problematic, especially in this kind of situation. So as long as Jaedong micros this carefully, then he should be able to win this, and it's extremely close, but yeah, it's definitely going to be Jaedong's game to win. Yeah, this is, and with his army left gone, and there is a lurker there, keep in mind, even though he wasn't able to kill the lurker. So there is a lurker that can deny the mining at that minute expansion. It was shown in Observer a little earlier. Oh, and looks like Bisu's even walking High Templars to that base with the Reaver. I mean, it's crazy. Think of just how many drones died there. But it's GG. Bisu can't really do much at this point. So Jaedong ends up winning this game, but extremely close. Extremely close. So we'll see what Bisu does. Hopefully we'll see another meeting in this MSL between the two players, and